There are lots of urban legends in Jerusalem. This one might be the most important. It has to do with the Golden Gate and the fact that it is closed. Why is it closed? Tour guide will tell you it's to keep out the Messiah. Probably not the case. Both Christians, Jews, and Muslims believe that the world will end here. This is where the resurrection be, and the Messiah is going to come through.
There's been a quiet enigma resting in the middle of Jerusalem for centuries. Something people pass by every day. Something ancient and sealed, yet something so full of meaning. Few pay attention to it, but those who know what it means have been searching and waiting for centuries. Now something is different. Something peculiar has happened. And it may be connected to a prophecy thousands of years old. Prophecy that speaks of the end times and the return of the Lord. Before we proceed with what is currently taking place, kindly subscribe to our channel. It helps us reach more people with God's truth, and you will never miss a message that can make your faith grow stronger. Let's begin. Just outside the walls of the ancient city of Jerusalem, across from the Mount of Olives, stands a structure that has caught the attention of scholars, prophets, and generations of believers. It's called the Eastern Gate or the Golden Gate, but there's more to this than a beautiful or old landmark. In scripture and Jewish tradition, this gate has a specific part to play in God's timeline. In the book of Ezekiel, we find something utterly amazing. Then he brought me back the way of the gate of the outward sanctuary, which looketh toward the east, and it was shut. Then said the Lord unto me, This gate shall be shut, it shall not be opened, and no man shall enter in by it, because the Lord, the God of Israel, hath entered in by it, therefore it shall be shut. Ezekiel 44 verses 1-2. This is referring to the Eastern Gate. God states that it is to remain closed, sealed, because his presence has entered through it, and it will not be opened until the Lord returns. This is why this gate is so profound. It's more than an entrance to the city. It's a symbol, a prophetic signpost, and for centuries it has stood just the way the Bible said it would, sealed, silent, and undisturbed. History tells us that the Eastern Gate was closed in the 1500s by Sultan Suleiman of the Ottoman Empire. Whether or not he knew the full scope of biblical prophecy, he ordered it closed and actually placed a Muslim cemetery in front of it. Why? For it was well known that the Messiah, as foretold, would come from the east and enter Jerusalem through this gate. By siting the cemetery there, the Sultan was trying to exclude a Jewish priest who would not enter a graveyard. But no earthly monarch can stand in the way of God's will. This act of sealing the gate instead of thwarting prophecy may well have accomplished it. The gate has now been sealed for over 480 years, untouched and stoned over. People have passed by it for centuries, not realizing that it holds the weight of eternity behind its stones. So why is the east direction significant? Why is this gate particularly tied to prophecy? In the book of Zechariah, we are told something amazing about the Messiah. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. Zechariah 14:4. Jesus ascended into heaven from the Mount of Olives. And in Acts 1 verse 1, the angels told his disciples, This same Jesus who has been taken from you into heaven will come back in the same way you have seen him go into heaven from the east. So the Messiah, as per scripture, will come from the Mount of Olives and approach the city of Jerusalem from the east, the direction of the sealed Eastern Gate. This is the significance of the gate. It's nothing but a wall. It's a prophetic gate, and it has been shut, waiting for the one who alone is worthy to pass through. And now, after centuries of silence, something strange has happened. Without warning and without cause, this ancient shut gate has been opened. Not completely, but opened. Enough to stir worldwide attention. Stones that have not been moved in generations have shifted. A barrier that stood for centuries has begun to crack, and people are saying, why now? What does it portend? Is this merely a construction accident, a political gambit, or is it something more? For people who believe in the Bible and the prophecies regarding Jesus' second coming, it's difficult not to make a connection. Could this be a sign? We are in an age of confusion and chaos, wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in unusual places, political upheaval, technology ascendant, the hearts of many growing cold. Jesus warned us of the days such as these in Matthew 24. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Matthew 24:6-8. We are watching many of these signs occurring in real time, but the Lord did not give us these signs to make us afraid. He gave them to us so that we would be ready. Just as the sealed gate was a sign, so are the things of our world today. So you also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour when you do not expect him. Matthew 24:44. If a gate that has not opened in nearly 5 centuries begins to move, perhaps it's not just a moment in history. Perhaps it's a message from heaven. What's also wonderful, the Hebrew name for this gate, Shar Harakamim, the gate of mercy. How fitting. Before judgment, God always offers mercy. Before the end, he opens a door, not just in stone, but in our hearts for us to return to him. Jesus Christ is the gate of mercy. He said, I am the door. By me if any man enter in, he shall be saved. John 10:9. That's the greatest message of all. Whether this opening is the beginning of the fulfillment of Ezekiel's prophecy or a physical phenomenon with spiritual implications, our response should be to look to Jesus, the only one who can save us, restore us, and ready us for his coming. The hour now calls us to examine our hearts. Are we truly ready if Jesus returned today? Are we living for him? Are we sharing his truth with others? Are we not in faith standing but in fear? The door can be a stone wall in Jerusalem, yet we each have a door in our hearts, and Jesus is knocking. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will with him and he with me. Revelation 3:20. Don't wait for the world to change before you are transformed. Now is the time to turn to him. The Bible tells us to watch not the world alone, but also ourselves. Jesus will come back whether the world is ready or not. And prophecy tells us that he will return just as he left the Mount of Olives via the Eastern Gate. If that gate is opening even slightly, then we must lift up our heads. Lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Luke 21:28. The gate of mercy has stirred, and maybe the King of Glory is preparing to enter. If this message has stirred your heart, we would like you to subscribe to our channel. We share gripping stories, biblical revelations, and real discoveries that enrich your walk with God and point toward his soon return. Let us not be sleeping. Let us be awake and watching. The sealed gate was nothing but a wall. It was a promise, and that promise may be closer to fulfillment than we think. May we all be found ready when the Lord returns again.